we get this more than anything.
Yeah.
But you get promoted into a new position, there's no one there to really train you.
Yeah.
And we don't really mentor people before they get the position because, one, do you have time to bring them along? And two, a lot of people are really worried about losing their jobs. It's like, am I training the next guy that's going to take my spot?
Yeah.
So it's a very weird conundrum to be in when you're like, okay, I'm the new AD. First, year one. Now what? What do I do? What does an AD do?
Yeah.
Football made simple. Become great at your craft by finding ways to make it simple for those around you. This is the Coaching 101 podcast hosted by Find a Way Productions with your co-host, Daniel Chamberlain and Kenny Simpson. Welcome back, guys. It's Daniel Chamberlain with the Coaching 101 podcast. We are in our fourth or fifth session this morning. We've been kind of hard at it, getting to talk to some coaches and administrators. Once again, I'm going to talk about ACE Sports here, guys. ACE is the, I've called it a cheat code 100,000 times, and I'll continue calling it that as a cheat code in fundraising. Hopefully you got to hear Mr. Bridges come on and talk. Mark, he talked just a bit ago kind of about the vision of the program. We're going to have him on a couple more times today, and he's going to just sell you different pieces and let you hear what ACE Sports can do for you, regardless of what sport you have at your school, regardless of how big or small your community is. There's a package for everyone. So ACE Sports, acesports.com, or get a hold of Mark Bridges. The ads on all the podcasts have got his information. I still haven't written down his phone number, but I will before the end of the day. So keep watching if you're live. We're joined with by TJ Wesselman here, coach and president of the KAAA board.
Yeah, KAAA, yeah. Yeah, this is my first year as president. I served as president-elect for 2 years. I'm the athletic director at Owen County High School. I'm in year 15 as athletic administrator at Owen County, and 9 years as head football coach.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're doing both right now?
Yeah.
AD and head football coach.
Yeah, busy. Yeah,
that's
too busy.
A pretty busy life.
Yeah, my wife coaches women's basketball at our high school as well, so we are all in athletics. Yeah.
Yes, that's a family affair. I like it, man. Well, that's good stuff, man. So, like I told you, I'm not sure that Oklahoma has an administrators association like that. They may, and maybe I don't have the secret decoder ring to know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, not being an administrator myself. So kind of tell me about what's the vision of your program? What are you doing for coaches?
Well, here in Kentucky, of the KAAA, our vision is all about better educating our athletic administrators to do their job more effectively. Because at the end of the day, my job and the job of athletic directors is nothing but servant leadership. And it's serving our coaches, it's serving our kids, it's serving our communities and our parents to provide a high-level athletic department, athletic programs that can push kids to be better people, and that's kind of our vision. We partner with the NIAAA very heavily here in Kentucky with our leadership training courses that we offer for ADs have the opportunity now to take classes and earn national certification that's accredited through Cognia, which is the highest level of education accreditation you can have. So that's our vision is just. In my vision as, my 2 years as president, like I really want to focus on mentorship. How can we better serve our new athletic directors? The turnover in the state of Kentucky and the turnover nationwide is, around 35%. And we want to do a better job of helping those young new athletic directors when they're first starting out so we can keep them.
Yeah.
Because turnover is not good for coaches. It's not good for students. And so just keeping those new athletic directors engaged and know that they've got support is very critical.
It's kind of a position, and there's a lot of them out there. I'm a military guy, so we get this more than anything.
Yeah.
But you get promoted into a new position, there's no one there to really train you.
Yeah.
And we don't really mentor people before they get the position because, one, do you have time to bring them along? And two, a lot of people are really worried about losing their jobs. It's like, am I training the next guy that's going to take my spot?
Yeah.
So it's a very weird conundrum to be in when you're like, okay, I'm the new AD. First, year one. Now what? What do I do? What does an AD do?
Yeah. A lot of learning on the fly. And so we need to do a better job. Collectively of giving our new athletic directors the resources they need, because a lot of times it's not for a lack of effort, it's just they don't know what they don't know. And so we've got to do a better job of identifying those new athletic directors that have promise and are in it for the right reasons, and then give them the tools they need.
So in a world that it's really hard to train leadership, I feel like, and mainly because you don't come up being trained, you don't get leadership training on the way up.
Yeah.
And now you're supposed to be a leader and train other people in leadership that you already don't know how. What are you doing with the KAAA to kind of invest in the current athletic directors, but also get them to bring others in that leadership training?
So we've had some conversations with our state association, the KHSAA, and our commissioner, Julian Tackett. He's going to be here actually tomorrow to talk to, in our closing session, talk to the athletic directors here at our association, our conference. And we're partnering, we're working on a partnership with them to create a mentorship program within our state where when we have new athletic directors, pairing them up with a mentor. And we're looking at it like, my vision of it is try to do it regionally, where you've got retired athletic directors in that region who will then be, the first step resource for a new athletic director. Come and do a site visit, because a lot of times you think about the very first time an AD's hosting a home football game, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that you don't think about because you're not sure. So having someone who's been there, who's done that, to come and do a site visit with you before your first football game starts in the fall and actually say, okay, here are the things you need to be thinking about. Here's where you need to set up your gate. Here's where the flow of traffic needs to be. Where are your referees going to go? Who's going to take the referees from their locker room to the field, from the field to their locker room? All those things that you don't have a magical checklist. Now we've tried to create some checklists that we give and provide through our NIAAA mentoring committee, like a toolbox of things, but actually being there on site with someone is so much more powerful.
Yeah, being football coaches, your practice is, you have to have practice, right? You can't show up on Friday night as a football team, so why would you try to do that as an administration?
Absolutely.
We call them walkthroughs or rehearsals. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And this is a world where it's like, everyone thinks no one wants to show that they don't know a thing, right? In fact, most people won't even ask questions because, by God, they better not know that I don't know that. And so I think that's really neat. If you're sending people out and going, hey, let's just do a rehearsal at your stadium. You're going to host here. Why would you come to my stadium and go through my checklist? What does yours look like?
Yeah, like in preseason, as a football coach, every year we have a wonderful athletic trainer at our high school. She's amazing. And every year we do an EAP, our emergency action plan, walkthrough in every one of our venues with every one of our coaching staffs by season, and actually do a walkthrough with, okay, we're going to cut the jersey off the player, we're going to cut the shoulder pads off, we're taking the face mask off, we're going to put them on a board. God forbid we have to do that. But if you don't prepare for that, you're setting yourself up for failure.
You don't want the first time to be the first time.
Absolutely. So just those situations like that, being proactive, we've got to do a better job, and that's something I'm really working on, of doing a better job of providing those resources for those ADs so that they can have their walkthroughs with a mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you going to find resources? So now you're the president, and you didn't never do that job before, so welcome to the limelight, right?
Yeah.
So where do you go to find resources, and how are you researching those?
Well, I was fortunate. The way we set up in Kentucky is you serve 2 years as president-elect. So I get to be mentored by our previous president. I was very fortunate to be able to work side and side with Tracy Spickard. She's unbelievable. And to have her as a mentor, so that now during my 2-year term, I kind of know what it's supposed to look like, and then use my own twist to make it my own, but really have like the fundamental elements of, okay, this is what you do during your presidency. And then I get to serve 2 years as president, past president. So it's really a 6-year commitment for a 2-year time. So we're really doing a good job of preparing our future presidents to be able to, when they walk in to that job the first time, this is my first conference, already having the tools that I know I need to make it work.
It's a strong network. Too, right? You got that safety net that can catch you if something does fall off.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. So tell me more about this association. You talked about kind of what you're doing to bring new athletic directors along. What about the ones that are kind of aging out and they're looking for retirement? What are you guys doing to keep their knowledge involved?
Well, those are the ones that we really lean on to be our regional representatives. So Kentucky is divided up into 16 regions, and within our board here at the KAAA, we have a board representative from each region. So, having those I don't want to say old, but those veteran, experienced, seasoned athletic directors, having them on board to help serve as regional representatives from their region, that they can go back to all the ADs in their region and provide information about our state conference and things that are going on. We're partnering with Sports U to do and Ballfrog to better communicate with the ADs in the state of Kentucky. Communication is vital. So it's something that we're really working on. I'm going to be meeting with Julian Tackett, our commissioner, tomorrow to talk more about our mentorship program. Really want to get that off the ground and rolling in year 2 of my presidency. But then using those veteran ADs as those future mentors for the new ADs. They have a lot of wisdom. They've been there before. It's hard to scare them because they've been through it. But just using their knowledge and what they know to better help our new ones, the next generation, so we can keep them.
So if I come in as a new football coach in Kentucky, I'm in my first year right out of college, and AD is on my priorities list, maybe it's 10 years down the road, 15, whatever, some X number of years.
Yeah.
How do I get a hold of you guys and say, hey, at some point I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Start training me now. Start making me good at this now. Or how do I just let somebody know I'm interested?
So, I think at the local level, communicate. I promise you this: if you went to a high school and you were coaching and you went to the athletic director and said, "Hey, I'm interested in this. I want to help," he's going to tell you to sign right away because we need as much help as we can get.
Right.
So. Learning, at the local level, just getting your foot out there and being open to, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but I think that looks like something I would enjoy, and just because I promise you there are resources there. Our state conference is amazing. The workshops and the seminars, the educational opportunities that we provide at our state conference are amazing. Just willing to put yourself out there and say, hey, I want to test the waters. I want to better educate myself. I want to take some leadership training courses. I want to work on a national accredited certification through this coursework so that I can better educate myself. I think really you've got to be someone who is a go-getter, who is ready to jump in with both feet and just be ready to know that there's going to be things you're going to navigate and challenges along the way, but just be willing to be open to, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
And that mindset is something that a lot of people struggle with because they don't want to let people know I'm not sure, or I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And asking for help is tough, but you're only going to be as good as your ability to communicate effectively and be honest and authentic and say, hey, I need help. Can you help me with this? You've done this before. Can I see what you do and make it my own?
I mean, we steal in the football world all the time.
Absolutely.
Right? Everything here. There's nothing new under the sun.
The best shit, or the
You're good.
Sorry. The best stuff I do are things that I steal.
Yeah.
I mean, and you steal it, you make it your own, you make it fit what you want to do and what fits your kids or what fits your school or what fits your community. But the best things we do are the things we steal, 100%.
So as two last questions here, man. I'll let you get. I don't want to steal your time. Well, you're the president, so you're very important up here today. What have you done before you got elected? I know you spent 2 years as president-elect. What experiences have you found that helped you the most in the current role you're in right now?
I served as our regional rep for 8 years. So I was on the board here at the KAAA for 8 years prior to becoming president-elect. And it was just a willingness to say, I believe in what we do. I believe there's value in what we do as athletic administrators. I believe in the value of what we do as an association. And what do you need me to do? Asking those questions, like, really like, hey, what can I do to help? And putting yourself out there, because at the end of the day, the more I can help or the more I can be involved, there might be someone who I know that I can network with, who's maybe afraid to ask someone else they don't know, but they know me so they can come to me. So just really putting myself out there as a regional rep, trying to represent the 8th region the best I could, supporting the ADs within my region, helping give them education and knowledge and opportunities that were out there for my region, and really just being willing to do anything to help our association grow.
That's awesome. Last question here, and that is,
yeah,
when your time as president is up, whether that's at the end of this 2-year section or maybe you're on your way out 2 years, what does success look like? How can you stamp it and say, I succeeded in doing everything I wanted to? What will you have left behind?
If our mentorship program is off the ground and running, I will look at my 2 years, 6-year window as success, because the mentorship is really like my passion right now. I was very fortunate to be selected to serve on the NIAAA's National Mentorship Committee, and I represent Section 2, which is Kentucky, Ohio, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C. So I was selected out of that group of states to represent our section on a national committee, and I was selected for mentorship. So that's really kind of where I'm at now. Like, I'm really invested in that. I want our association to grow. I want to see more ADs involved. Really want to look at how many ADs are really pushing themselves educationally to earn those national accreditation certifications, because excuse me, you know as well as I do, you're only as good as you surround yourself with, and you're only as good as you're willing to educate yourself. Because if there's something I don't know, I'm not going to be my best. And if I'm willing to recognize that and go and find the education so I can be better in that area, it's only going to make me better at my job. And at the end of the day, if I'm better at my job, it means I'm better for my kids and my coaches and my community. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's a great answer. I'd appreciate people that put value in evolving.
Yeah.
You got to get to the next level. You can't do things the way they've always been done, because times change, right?
Yeah.
There's so much that's going on new that it doesn't matter what your job, doesn't matter if you're a school teacher, a coach, an administrator, you got to evolve.
I tell my football guys all the time, you have two choices today. It's either get better or get worse. There's no such thing as staying the same.
Kenny Ridley used to tell me that all the time. Favorite person in the world.
And it's so true. Every day, you're never going to be the same, and you've got two choices. You either go up or you go down, and that's a choice that you make. And that's very evident in the world of being an athletic director. Every day you've got a choice. You either attack the day or the day attacks you, and so it's either get better or get worse. And that's something I preach to my kids, but it's something that, like, I really believe. Like, it's not just a quote or something you say. Like, that's our mindset. That's our goal. Every day we're going to get better. So,
all right, let's pitch some social media here, and then I'll let you go, man. Somebody wants to reach out to KAAA or maybe your high school.
Yeah.
Where does someone go to get in contact with people that can help them be a better administrator?
So you can go to our website, KAAA. You can search that and can find the Kentucky Athletic Administrator Association. You can find our website. It'll give you the information you need about who our regional reps are, when our state conference is. We're like I said, we're partnering with Ball Frog now to update our new website. It's going to be amazing. Really excited about that. If you want to know about Owen County athletics, you can follow the Rebels Nation on X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We do it all.
Let's go.
We try to we do a great job of promoting our kids. We're a small school, Kentucky. 525 kids in our high school. We're small, but I'd be willing to put myself out there to say we promote our kids and our programs and our department as good as anybody. And because I don't ever want my kids to say, well, I'm from Owen County, a small school. I'm just from Owen County. I'm limited to this. I want our kids, and a mindset we really push is, no, I can go and do great things because I'm from Owen County.
That's right.
And so that's our push.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, it's been great having a conversation with you.
Yes, thank you.
Guys, one last time I want to mention Ace Sports. If you're looking for the next hack, the next cheat code, the next best way to fundraise, Ace Sports is it. Their video board, the one that's here is huge, 10 by 20. I want to hook my Xbox to it. Like, it is go time.
I want 3 of them. I want one for football, baseball, and softball. I want them all.
And every sport, guys, there is something for you at Ace Sports. They're doing ribbons, they're doing scorers tables, they're doing whatever you need. Scoreboards, video boards. It's the works. 10 years, they're guaranteeing them for 10 years, a 10-year warranty. They've got you covered. So come holler at Mark, come holler at RJ's here on the floor. If you're in Kentucky, come by and say hi. Come by. Heck, I'll throw you on the podcast. It don't matter. I just want to have fun with the coaches in Kentucky while I'm here for the day. Come talk to these guys about Ace Sports. Thank you all very much. We'll see you at the top of the hour. What's up, guys? It's Coach Chamberlain here with the Coaching 101 podcast. We are live from the Kentucky Athletic Administration Association. I'm here with Mark Bridges. Mark Bridges with Ace Sports. You can't see this giant board behind me, but it is a 10 by 20 travel scoreboard. You would not travel with this, I assure you. This is just a demo version. It is massive. It is beautiful. That's what we're doing here this weekend is we're trying to sell scoreboards, video boards, whatever you want to call them, to the coaches of Kentucky. Mark, go ahead, man. Tell us about them.
Hey, we're especially excited about the podcast and what you guys are doing nationally through the Gun Tee, Weed Tee movement. I remember back in the Malzahn days where I'm like, yes, sir. And I just didn't know it would take that many tentacles and offenses that just now I can't even keep up anymore, And so just to be a sponsor, to be a part and to just bless what you guys are doing, man, we're going to continue to do that and over, years to come. And so first of all, thank you for what you're doing. And then I'm just glad we're here. We are branding nationally, opening branches up across the country. And part of that is just through our business model. We wanted people to see a bigger vision and say, hey, can I get a video board? Now, how do I pay for it? That's the biggest question, right? How do I pay for this thing that we're seeing pop up literally everywhere in Texas and these states that are 2A, 3A schools are now. We even have 1A schools that have contacted us. And that is not the norm, or has been in the past. So we just wanted to create a business model to help generate revenue through ad dollars, sponsor dollars, donor dollars. Anyway, we can pull revenue back in so that they can offset those costs and get a video board, school board for football or basketball or any sport. And now we're here in Kentucky 10, 11 years later going, we're going to brand this all over the country. So
it's been really neat to get to work with you guys and watch it. I mean, I've just been around 3-4 years since I first ran into you at the Gun Tee clinic in Batesville or Southside. But yeah, man, it's really neat what you guys are doing. I call it the cheat code, and all the ads, I call it the cheat code to fundraising.
I like it.
And people who have used it understand that. They know that it is the cheat code to fundraising. Big ticket items is what, we kind of push. Like, it is a big ticket thing, but it helps from over years and years and years get the other things that programs need.
You bet.
Really glad this year we've got to push the, no school's too small. That's what everyone says, right? Well, my school can't afford that.
And I hear that. I hear everything. There's a rebuttal to everything that a coach would throw at me of why we can't get that here. I mean, we used to hear that back at the big schools. And so it would kind of let me give you an analogy. It's like years ago, an architect wants to build a 9,000 square foot home for you. And turf's not a problem. Bleachers and everything else indoor now, those are $1 million ticket items, and they figure out ways to make this happen. Well, in our world, we'd get the half bath. You're building a 9,000 square foot home with a half bath? No. Quit scaling us down. Quit getting a little boy school board, maybe a square above a traditional school board that we've seen grow in a lot of high schools. And we just said, no. How do we take a time out, brand the Texas mindset in every state in America? How do we do that? How do we take the big boards and put them in Kentucky and Iowa, and the list goes on? And we realized we needed a revenue stream, a revenue platform. And really our number one hurdle to overcome on a podcast like this is when a coach hears it, they're like, well, I need to get my soup on board or my AD, and there's a freaking chasm in there, a gap, like the Grand Canyon, and it just seems to not take root sometimes after we talk with that coach or after we hear and their vision. And it just, how do How do we bridge that gap is the biggest question that I'm asking for these coaches to help us get them in front of their AD and their superintendent or board member or booster club, because until they hear it, it becomes their idea maybe. You know how this is. You know, their vision. I mean, they're hearing him go back, and I've got an assistant coach here and a head football coach here at a 2A school in Alabama who's on fire to get a new video board, and it just hits a wall. You know, it hits another wall, and it hits another wall. So we're asking these coaches that listen into this podcast, help us bridge that gap. The quicker you get us on a video call or in front of your school board or with that superintendent, the money people who make those decisions, you'll get this. I mean, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. They just don't understand how this can pay for itself. And I remember when I first started this, we had a board member that was cynical. It went from a $60,000 wall application in an arena to 1.2 million, and they threw in a football board with that dollar amount. I was like, what are you talking about? We're going to raise money, I'll set the hardware, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yes. He says, well, let's go all in, chips on the table. And I didn't think we were going to get into that. You know, it's kind of like I'm snorkeling, you know, and then all of a sudden we're scuba diving. I'm learning how to equalize and that as we go. But hey, if they breathe in that community, we were asking them to give money back to the video. And here's what that board member said to me after they approved the project. He said, you know, we're live in a board meeting with about 100 people, and he looks down at the board, the rest of the 6 of them, and said, we have never invested in anything in our school district, and I've been on this board for 19 years, that has brought revenue back to our district the way this video board campaign, and we weren't even under contract. I was scared to death. I was like, I can't believe we're out doing this. And they approved it, 1.2 million. We contracted the rest of the sound and the lighting, but in that package was a massive Dallas Mavericks style video board for that arena of $16 million, and they were going to get a regular school board. Are you kidding me? And then football got a $330,000 video board that we had an architect design a cavity to oversee the football stadium out of the arena. I mean, it was like, let's go gamble and see what happens. And we hit the jackpot, you know, right off the bat. And now that business model has literally transpired in many other states and many other schools so that they can buy into that vision.
Yeah, I like seeing that each sport has its own thing, right? You talk about the video board for the arenas. If you've got basketball, if you're trying to put up a new basketball gym, and they got scores tables, banners, I mean, all sorts of stuff, right? And all at a reasonable price, a price that you can make up. I love using Coach Kenny Simpson, of course, the other the co-host of the podcast, because now the numbers I may not have exact, but they were something like $700,000 in the black, right, after 7 years. So you're talking $100,000 in the black a year off of a stinking video board. So now the numbers there could be, you know, up or down a little bit, but
no, that's very close. And he's been in 2 different venues where he has seen over $1.3 million come back to 2 separate high schools. And so who do you think we're going to get to call as a reference? We're going to get him to call Kenny. Kenny's not only done it once, he's done it twice, and he's using revenue that has already paid for his video board for football to raise money for an indoor. And I think that's where people don't look at the bigger vision. That's where it's hard enough to get it, but once you get it, now how long is it going to take and what's all the stipulations here? No, it's not like that. Over time, it's going to pay for itself. How long is the ROI? How long will it take to get it paid for? Not if it's going to be paid for. Right. And I think once we saw that, now we've had more and more ADs and coaches, and I've got principals now, booster club people calling us, going, "Hey, what are you guys doing? How do you raise that kind of money?"
Right.
And here's how. Here's how. We saw something that high schools were doing across the country. They were leaving money on the table everywhere. And I know a coach is listening right now. They don't know my backyard. They don't know my area. We don't have any money. Man, that story goes on and on and on. And we just wanted to say, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Now, we're not promising you 100% of the dollar amount right off the bat or within a 1 or 2 month period. We're having you look over the long haul. Here's the data, 88 to 92% of every campaign we've been a part of That's a big number. They have gotten into the black on verbal agreements in year one. Doesn't mean it's paid in full. That doesn't mean we came in 1 week, we raised $1 million. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about raw data we did not have at first to just try to cast that vision, because nobody does it at the high school level.
Right.
You know, you would expect them to do it at University of Alabama or Arkansas or places like that, or A&M. I mean, hello. But at the high school level, we saw something that, hey, money's being left on the table. Let's bring it back in. Let's rob Peter to pay Paul, maybe. And then once we've got that revenue taken care of to pay for the board over a 3, 4, 5 year period, what happens in year 6 through 10, year 11 through 15? Well, now you just give your ad dollar, your sponsors, all that a discount to keep going on that revenue stream. And that's what we did not see at first.
So there are plenty of imitators of the Ace Sports idea, right?
Of course.
And I bet there's some here, and I don't want to call them their competition. That's what they are, right?
Yeah.
They're out to do theirs. I have heard horror stories. I've heard, we get a percentage of it over so many years. We're going to cover the cost up front. I'm going to throw you a softball here, because I know how much are you guys taking? Over years. None, right? Like, there's no more that goes back to you once it's paid for.
None. No. Matter of fact, we don't even charge you extra to do it. It's a supplemental service that we say, hey, listen, let's look at the Ferrari, land on the Mercedes. If you feel like you're in the 1A, 2A, let's look at the Mercedes and land on, maybe a high-end Camry. Let's not start with the freaking Ford Fusion or Corolla or Pinto. And if you drive that, by the way, Coach, hey, hang in there, your day's coming, okay? No, but in all seriousness, that's what used to happen, is we would just, hey, we want a video board. It's kind of like going to Walmart when they bring in the local fair, every year, and it's a big deal as a kid, and you really haven't been to Six Flags or King's Dominion or Disney World, and we had to bridge that gap. It was like, guys, listen, this can be done. Now, it's going to be hard. It's going to take some time. You got to take some buy-in. The biggest problem is buying in. Is a superintendent or a school board, and why are we going to spend $300,000 for a football board? Well, do you know the overall vision of how you're going to build revenue? And we're going to help you establish a CTE program through radio, television, and broadcasting, and AV tech and film. Now you've got parents who are like, well, this is academic. Right. Now we're going to marry and merge athletics and academics and help them build ESPN style production. You can't do any of that if you don't have live video. I don't care what you're streaming out. Nobody cared about the streaming world like they used to. That's just kind of just ordinary, and that's a good thing if you're doing it. But man, I remember in COVID, I had Texas superintendent said, screw the streaming. Let's put butts in the stands. Let's enhance the production. Let's get people to the game, not staying at home like the whole culture's doing now, not going to the movies like they used to. And you don't want to do that. That'll hurt your football program. You want revenue at the gate. We can help you with revenue at the gate. The more you enhance that, the more those Jennies and Johnnies who can give 2 cents about your freaking football program, now I'm going to have grandpa and grandma come because they're running a camera, or they're working in a production, or they're in a trailer, they're in a press box, or whatever it may be. And now you're starting to see revenue grow off of your production. And I'm telling you, we can take you to 3 and 4A schools that are running circles around some of the 6 and 7A that don't do anything. So,
well, guys, you heard it here first with Mark. Listen, we're going to be here all day tomorrow. The first podcast should go live about 9. If you're watching one of my channels right now, that's where it's going to be. We're not going to change it up, do anything crazy. Share it out to your coaches that need help. If they need a video board just to celebrate kids, there's a smaller package, right? If it's a big school, but they're just lacking in that game day environment, that atmosphere, video boards is the way to do that. And it doesn't matter what sport, soccer, football, basketball, baseball, we've got them all. We can cover them all with Ace Sports. Mark, appreciate you joining me real quick. And like I said, we'll be all day tomorrow. We've got 6 to 8 coaches coming on. The number will be more concrete in the morning. We hope to hear from or see you guys jumping in and listen to the podcast. If you don't catch them live, we'll be shooting all these out during the weeks, the next 6 to 8 weeks. How many episodes we get? So appreciate you guys.